2021 film Mortal Kombat came after a few decades of movie flops, canceled TV shows, and a web series that took years of production, and a tug-of-war between its director and WB Studios regarding its creativity. With this new Mortal Kombat movie, the hype for a good film version based off the video game series was renewed. Spoiler alert for anyone who has not yet seen the movie. I was pleasantly surprised with the way this movie came out. Coming off the 1996 and 1999 films, the Mortal Kombat Legacy series, and the animated Scorpion's Revenge film, I feel this movie is in a league of its own. This movie opens with Scorpion's and Sub-Zero's backstory, albeit taking up a decent portion of the first act to this storyline, which does set up the remainder of the movie. We've seen this before in Scorpion's Revenge, but now we have it in live action. I feel the actors they chose for these two characters were spot on. I don't see any better fits for either one. On the note of casting, I feel the best casting they did was for Kano and Kung Lao. For me, someone who's played the story of the games from Mortal Kombat 1 through Mortal Kombat 11, the actors who played Kano and Kung Lao in this movie were absolutely excellent. I was also surprised by the fact that they brought in the guy who plays Jimmy Olsen from the Supergirl TV show to play Jax. I was hoping that they would have brought in Michael J. White for this role to reprise it. However, the guy who played Jimmy actually didn't do so bad in this role. Now with that being said, I wasn't too fond of the casting choice for Raiden. Christopher Lambert I feel did a good job in the original 1996 film, and then James Remar from Mortal Kombat Annihilation did an okay job, but I don't feel he did as good as Christopher Lambert. But for this, Christopher Lambert I feel did a great job in the original 1996 film. And in the games, Raiden I feel was a bit more hardcore and more of a mentor than he was in this film. He seemed to be more active in the games rather than this film as well. I feel as though Raiden was just there during this movie, and was treated as more of a supporting character instead of having a higher role of mentor and whatnot, since he is the Thunder God. Seeing Cabal in this movie was pretty cool. I feel they got his character design and abilities just right. However, I feel the acting was a bit of a downer for this character, as his line delivery seemed a bit rushed. I feel kind of the same way with some of Kano's dialogue, along with some of the other characters' dialogue. At some points it just seems a bit rushed to me in regards to its delivery. Now, with the casting out of the way, I'll say that I was surprised to see Natara in the film. It's just too bad she didn't have a large role and was killed off way too quickly and easily, even if the fatality Kung Lao did on her was awesome. And let's talk about the fact that Mileena was in the film, but there was no Katana or Baraka. Mileena is a clone of both Baraka and Katana, so you can't have Mileena show up without either of them in the film as well. And yes, I know we get to see one of Katana's bladed fans in a showroom in Raiden's temple, but that doesn't count. Mileena is a mix between Katana's DNA and a Takardan's DNA, the race that Baraka hails from. So these two characters I feel should have been included in the film if they were going to include Mileena. Plus, these are classic characters, and they brought in Mileena and Raiko before they brought in Katana and Baraka. I would find that funny if I wasn't so annoyed by it. However, despite these gripes of mine, I must say that this movie does have some pretty neat, cool fan service. And on top of that, I feel this movie does pretty well with its fight sequences. This movie doesn't get to the tournament per se, so they could have chosen a different name for this movie, as it seems to be more of a prequel movie to Mortal Kombat itself, but the movie does include a lot of the other staples of a Mortal Kombat entry. The fact that we get some of the staple catchphrases, like "Get over here," is pretty cool and nostalgic. With all that being said, I feel this was a pretty solid entry for the reboot of this movie franchise. They clearly set it up for a sequel, so I truly hope that happens. If it does, I do look forward to seeing what they do with it. Until then, I will enjoy what they came out with and hope for what's next in our wonderful movie world. Thank you for watching. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.